right? Is Brad Holmes not doing enough in the offseason, biting the Lions in the ass after the Packers got Micah Parsons, or even before that? Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Honestly speaking, like it's only time will tell. A lot of times, you may get, your homeboy might get the Challenger or the Hellcat. You might settle for like a little Mazda, what is it, dash 70, 90. And, he fooling and clowning and, all that type of shit. And, rolling steady in your little Mazda truck. And, your truck is more reliable. It's steady, it's reliable, it's more durable. It's snowing outside. He getting stuck in shit. He's spinning out. You know what I'm saying? He want to trade it in after 2 years. Can't keep up with the note. The insurance high. He want to trade it in. Value drops a lot. That Mazda, if you trade it in, hey, guess what? The value holds. Holds a lot high. And, sometimes I say that to say this. They make that analogy. The flashy move ain't always the best move. Sometimes slow and steady win the race. And I think they know what they got. And it's a system. It's a system of guys, It's just a system of guys, They want to stop the run. I think that Carolina Panther game a couple years ago that stopped their playoff run for the most part. They want to be able to stop the run. They want to play fast, physical football. Everything is physical about the Lions. The corners got to tackle. The receivers have to block. Both safeties have to be physical. The linebackers are physical. The space eaters up front are physical. The offensive line they are physical. They're very, very physical, rugged. So when you talk about why the Lions do so good going outdoors versus what Matt Patricia was trying to do, Patricia was trying to take a pearl and make it a rock. He was trying to take that pearl and make it a boulder or a rugged rock. It's a pearl. It ain't gonna never be no rugged rock. He was trying to take a Corvette and make it into a Humvee. You can't do that. What Brad Holmes did was he drafted rocks, boulders. He drafted Humvees, tanks. He didn't try to take a Corvette and make it a tank. Now, if the Corvette had an off-road option like a Jameson Williams where he'll block and get his hands dirty, he's a football player, yes, he will take that anomaly. So at the end of the day, when you look at it, only time will tell. Micah Parsons might go there and be Reggie White reincarnated for them. Right? He may be the greatest. He might tip the scales over there. But you know what? I would have been more nervous, honestly, if a Jalen Carter came into the division. For years, we dealt with Darius Smith, Preston Smith, Danielle Hunter, Jared Allen. Khalil Mack. For years, it was Julius Peppers. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching a long time. Reggie White was in the division. We've dealt with the most tumultuous pass rushers in this particular division. That's a fact. That's why you drafted Penei Sewell. Believe it or not, that's why you drafted Gio Manu to eventually be able to be, because he's a raw athlete and block those guys. This is why you build, you continue to invest and reinvest into the offensive line. This is why you draft those guys. And guess what? Micah Parsons is a phenomenal football player. But you know what? We're going to run at that hoe. That's a fact. We're going to run at him. John Morton, he better be prepared to tell them dudes to get their running boots on. Because when you going up against the teams like that, boy, you better run. And when they lost Kenny Clark, to be honest, when I seen they lose Kenny Clark, I said, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. You lose Kenny Clark, that's tough. So it ain't gonna change who we are. I think it changes a little bit with John Moore. You better be prepared to run the football. That's my opinion on it. You better be prepared to run that football. But no, only time will tell. Just because you don't make the flamboyant moves or some, that's what built the Lions, to be honest. Was the Frank Ragnows before he got here, the Panisse Sewells. You know what I'm saying? That's what really changed the culture. Aiden Hutchinson, Christian Mahogany. I tried to let you over. You just didn't get the memo. People are like crazy. I mean, that's what really made the Lions, dog. Taylor Decker, Tate Rutledge, Tyleek Williams, Aleem McNeil. That's what really made the Detroit Lions. The game is won up front, and you love Micah Parsons. You love him. Fast, athletic. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? You can stop that. You can take him away. Who else gonna beat you? That's what you gotta make sure. Who else gonna beat you? You gotta run all the way down. You gotta run the ball. You gotta be able to run that ball. But losing Kenny Clark I think that's gonna be tough. And Jerry Jones said we gotta stop the run. But only time will tell, man. Some people make the flamboyant purchases, the jewelry, and some people, they make the quiet purchases. They invest into the SP 500. They build their portfolio up. They build, they literally sit there and they build, they invest, and they don't have to change. And AJ Brown drives the Honda. He saves his money. He don't got 10, 30 baby mamas running around here and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people make the quiet purchases, that pay off in the long haul. Some of these people, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, loud and, flamboyant purchases or loud moves don't mean you're going to get great results. So at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see, but we'll see. But I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna trust Holmes. And at the end of the day, if it ain't our year, it ain't been our year forever. We gotta wait a little bit longer to get a pass rusher or whatever. So be it. Will Micah Parsons be the difference between us putting the foot up the Packers' ass and not? He could be a difference maker, but at the end of the day, the reason we beat the Green Bay Packers, how we beat the Green Bay Packers, is because it's not that we're more talented than the Green Bay Packers. Let me say that. We're more physical. Matt LaFleur, losing Kenny Clark was huge for them, right? But the thing about Matt LaFleur is he's a passing guy first. Matt LaFleur got to understand, you in Green Bay, you got to run that football. You got to stop the run and run the football, And they do a lot of flamboyant things. But the reason we better than the Packers is because we're more physical than the Packers. It's as simple as that. We're the more physical football team. We win the line of scrimmage. And the biggest thing that Micah Parsons drop off is with Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark they had problems stopping our run to begin with, But with Kenny Clark gone and Parsons there, they're going to have worlds of trouble stopping the run. That's the big thing about it. But we'll see what happens. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist, the link tree, follow me everywhere. Peace.